Welcome to Ammosmith.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make an overall length gauge for whatever particular rifle you're loading for. What you're going to need is your reloading press. I'm going to be using the lead collet sizer, and the reason why I'm using this is I can adjust the neck tension on the bullet. Your shell holder, whatever bullet you're going to be using, in this case I'm using a 180 grain Nosler ballistic tip. And you're going to need some fired brass that you have not resized yet. And what we're going to attempt to do is we're going to be able to take a bullet and have it be able to sit into the case and stay put. Otherwise, if you don't size it at all, it'll just fall in. And we're going to take that and make a case where, just with hand tension, the bullet will stay in place. So let's get started. Okay. Now the first thing you need to do is adjust your die. Go ahead and insert your shell holder and start your die. I've already pre-adjusted this one. But what you want to do is be able to take the case, insert it into the press, and be able to put tension on the case. At some point the primer is going to pop out or get stuck. Sorry, it's starting to move a little bit. Where the case that you're working with will end up like this one here. And you'll know when you get there. Once you're there, go ahead and make one or two cases, so if you lose one, you always have a backup. And another thing you can do is take a drill bit, slightly less than 1/4 of an inch, and drill out the primer hole pocket so you can slide a cleaning rod in there. That way you can put the case in, have the bullet either seated deep, and you can push the bullet up against the rifling lines and grooves, or you can do the way I do it and set the bullet like that. Well, let's get a rifle and some micrometer calipers and see what we come up with. Okay, we have the rifle we're going to be testing for the overall length. We have the case, we have the bullet. Go ahead and just start the bullet in. It's a bow tail, so you just need to push it just a little past the bow tail. Go ahead and drop it in. Bolt it up. Now it's very important that you pay attention to this. You need to unbolt it and take it out carefully. Don't allow the ejector spring to fling it out on the floor, because the bullet may come out, it may hit nose first and push in deeper than it needs to be. There we go. Put it all together. Okay. Now I can see right around here where the lines and grooves just barely touched it. So I'm going to measure it. On this particular bullet, it's 2.920 inches. It's a little longer than magazine length, but not totally unexpected. Let's try another bullet. Okay, let's try another bullet. We're going to try the Sierra Match King 150 grain that I'm molly coated. So it barely fits in here. You can see as it moves, you can move it with your hand, but it won't fall out. So we go ahead We put it on top of the follower, and then we sort of guide the case in. You want to make it to where you're not accidentally pushing the bullet into the case. Bolt it up behind it. Gently extract it and measure it. .820 inches. So you would want to seat this one at about 2.810 off the lands and grooves. And what that does is it takes out any variation there might be, because what your seater does is it seats off the ogive and not the point. And the point will vary from bullet to bullet just very slightly. And so it can give you kind of a skewed idea what the measurement is. But if you take this measurement, deduct 0.10, you should be right there. And your group should tighten up significantly. In a semi-automatic rifle, you don't want to jam it into the rifling. You can even seat this closer to the rifling if you like. You're not going to get any real pressure spikes. But what it does is it reduces the jump. It'll reduce the jump from the bullet to the lands and grooves. So if you have a real long throat in your rifle, some bullets have to travel, say, that far before it engages the rifling. And that's too long of a jump if you have it seated to factory length. But if you have it seated right behind the lands and grooves, it'll start out perfect, it'll start spinning right away, and there won't be any bullet deformation from the transition from the case to the rifling. And this is an easy way of determining your overall length without spending a small mint on buying one of those overall length gauges that you can buy, and which I don't trust anyway. Always trust the bullet.